It's Tuesday. Stick around.
Who's ready for Tipsy Tuesday? What's it called when you do the chicky 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 chicky? Look how pretty!
A fun weekly show where we grab our favorite drink. Salud!
Diana!
I see, it's nice.
We take our bras off.
Somebody just wrote chicken.
And we laugh at people from around the world.
Yeah, I want some cheese and crackers. Of course I do.
Sometimes we even have guests.
So put your jammies on.
It's time for Tipsy Tuesday!
Dear, there's just boxes and sighing happening. I can hear you sighing. In case you were wondering, I've talked to no people today. I literally spent the entire day building closets, and guess what? It's not done. I have no makeup on. I did shower. You're welcome. Terry, I have barely left the house in 2 days. Still putting it together, curly top. We're at the tail end of it. Never let me do this again. And I just want to say, like, if you were to rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, putting together IKEA or other flat shipped furniture, what number would you give yourself? Because I'm going to give myself a 9.5. Okay? I am really very adept at it. 2 full days. Norma's like, I give myself a 3. Diane's like 10. And a Paglione, 0. I know, Tanya, I should have waited until you came to visit and be like, Tanya, here's what I thought we could, like, bond. You could put 2 together. And if I had to just put 2 together, if I had to just put 1 together. All right, here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to say about it. Now, a lot of people, so I put that post up at, like, what age do you not have to buy furniture anymore? Let me explain. Now, hi, Missy. I didn't talk to Missy. Missy and I have a requisite at least 1 phone call, if not 5 a day. I didn't talk to her at all. I just went dark. She's like, Dina's been murdered. I'm sure that went through her mind. No fancy drink because the only one's going to make it is Jason, and I didn't see any chocolate liqueur, and I didn't want, you know, when there's so much stuff to do at your house that you don't even want to ask your husband, boyfriend, fiance, lover to stop cleaning to make you a drink. You know, it's desperate times. I was like, I really want him to make me a drink, but I don't. He's on a roll. You know, when a man is on a roll and he cleaning a closet out, girl, you have to give up your alcoholic problem and just drink in secret. And that's what I'm doing, but in front of him as he walks by. It just was clearly no. Who broke or fractured their toe right before going to the beach? This be right here, Ollie. Yeah, no, you can't interrupt it. And when I tell you, so if you didn't know, this is what we had before. I think I showed you. It was real jank. It was an open closet. This is what we had. Okay, it was fine. And I bought that because that was better than what was here when I got here. I took what was here down with the sledgehammer when I got here. So the only built-in closet is this big. So you have to do something. Now, if I had $1 gajillion, girl, I had a whole design Somebody was like, why wouldn't you just take the extra money that you saved by buying it flat and pay somebody? I was like, but if I could pay somebody to put it together, I would have bought real furniture. And here's the thing. We love this house. This house is so beautiful. But Jason's kids will all be out of high school in 2 years. And then the question is, where do we want to be? And who knows if we'll stay? Who knows if we'll go? But I feel like we're going to do something. We're going to go somewhere. So at this point, I've done a lot to this house, which I know I've told you and I haven't shown you any pictures. Okay, Shakendra. But we've done a lot. And it was like the kitchen, a bathroom, like all the stuff you're supposed to do, right? But at this point, I'm like, there's nothing more I'm going to do to this house that's going to make it like, oh, this is gorgeous. At some point, you just get to the point of like diminishing returns. Is that, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know where. I don't think they had stuff. Somebody said, where did they put stuff? They didn't have stuff. They were like, do we have food? Do we have a place to go to the bathroom? All right, I think we'll live here for 50 years. That was it. Yeah, people. And when I tell you that closet that we had before, when I tell you 80% of it is Jason's clothes, girl. So now I bought 4 cabinets. Like it's clear, there's this one cabinet, there's 4 individual cabinets. So tonight I was like, okay, now we have to put our stuff back in the cabinets. Girl, one of my cabinets is completely empty. And the other cabinet is just filled with Goodwill clothes. I apparently don't have clothes. Was anybody going to tell me that I wear this? I mean, Michelle Mooney points out that I wore the same green shirt like 17 times. But apparently I don't own clothes. So, but this closet system doesn't have room for anything long. So I did get the closet that's actually came with the house. He had to give it up, but he got another rack somewhere. It's just, Jason's clothes are very organized. Very organized. Yeah, so it's just a lot. And I might have listened to an entire series on Netflix. I own clothes, but I still wear the same thing all the time. Yes. And I do donate them all. Yes. I just have a donate return policy with the Goodwill. At this point, I shouldn't be paying for any clothes from the Goodwill since I do a drop off more than a pickup. Yeah. And with any cool clothes I had, my daughters did take. So anyway, so there is, so we've had a lot of visitors. I think I told you Jason had a slumber party. And the 3rd floor, so we don't have, only one room in this house has central air, and that's the studio where all the instruments are. But everything else is just like room air conditioners. So if you ever want to come visit, like basically the 3rd floor is out. You can't be on the 3rd. In the winter, super cozy. You'd love it. But you can't stay on the 3rd floor. So that leaves just 3 bedrooms on the 2nd floor, which really means you just have 1 bedroom. So anyway. All right. So today I listened to an amazing series on Netflix. And you should all watch it. Tell me, make sure I'm saying the right one. Is anybody, and I don't think they've promoted a lot, but I think it's super interesting, called Mind Hunter. It was kind of deep because all I was watching was murder. Not to say that this isn't murder, but it's like murder from a different angle. Has anybody watched Mind Hunters on Netflix? Because I would like to hear what your take is on it, because yeah, I don't have time to watch it because I was putting together a cabinet. Missy, did you watch it and you didn't recommend it? Missy, is it I think it's true how the BAU got started. I think it's a true story. I had the chance to Google. So Curly Top, it starts out as what I think, because I didn't know anything about it. It started out as a story about this guy who it opens up and he's like a hostage negotiator, and they decide to they were like, we're taking you off the street, we're going to make you a teacher. And he was like, no, I did not know that, Missy. And I want to get into it because I don't want to ruin it for you, but not that it's going to be ruined, but I think it's based on according to Candace, based on the true events of how the FBI created behavioral science. You know, like we've been talking about behavioral science in television forever, right? So I was like, oh, it's always been like that. But this takes place, it's called Mind Hunters. It takes place, I'm guessing, in the 50s. And feel free to correct me because I was just listening to it most of the day. And how these two guys were really the ones that were pushing for the FBI to say, like, you know, we shouldn't just be solving these crimes. We should be interviewing these killers. And you see them start to unpack all the words that, like, all of us kind of associate. Like, I mean, if you've done your homework and watched Lamar, is that his name? If you've done your homework and watched Criminal Minds, Shamar Moore. Thank you, Shakendra. She didn't say it, but I knew she knew. I knew she was saying it. If you watched Shamar Moore and the entire Criminal Minds series, then you know there's organized killers, disorganized killers. It wasn't originally called a serial killer. They called it something else, but it all like unpacks, but like not in your face, but like a great story. He was amazing, Candace. Shamar. I took away some letters. Yeah, Martha. It was in Pittsburgh, and then it bounces around. I think I watched 8 episodes. I think they're an hour long. This was my whole day as I cursed my way through the day, and then I made barbecue chicken in a crock pot, and then I burned barbecue chicken in a crock pot, and then I wanted to cry because I had no dinner, and yeah, but it was super interesting. I'm not even I watched all of Cape Fear on Sunday, like the movie. What do you mean all of it? Isn't it just a movie? Was there a second season? I don't know. I don't even know how many. A Toxic Love Story is mind-blowing. Girl. Anne-Marie. Apparently. Yeah, I know. Did you know you can burn stuff in a crock pot? Apparently, if you keep it on high. So you know how it's like, keep it on high for 5 hours, on low for 8 hours? One of the options isn't on high for 8 hours. Trust me. The whole series, I just checked and I watched the whole, may have watched it because I remember nothing about it. Really? Mind Hunters? You watched it already? You don't know what I'm talking about? Oh, it's based on the movie. Interesting. Yeah, so that was my day. I mean, Lorene, do you know how hard it is to burn something in a crock pot? Like, the whole point is that it slow cooks for hours. Like, you would have to be engrossed in making a closet to ignore cooking food for 8 hours. You'd have to be some type of a-hole who didn't come down from the second floor for 8 hours. Oh, that's me. And then I was so mad. And then I thought about crying. Jason just ate it. I was like, Jason, and of course, I was so mad. I was like, you know, if you had been home at 4:30, this wouldn't have burned. Like, it couldn't be my fault. And he took it. He was like, you're right, Dina, I should have been home at 4:30. I said, at 4:30, I was going to eat by myself. He's very good, and he'll take blame for things that aren't his fault. And that's why we're together. Let me ask you this. Are you in a relationship where like both of you know it's your fault, but like that person will let you openly blame them? Because I am. But I think that because it took me I won't get these 2 days of my life back. Like Missy could have had something amazing to tell me today and I missed it. And I'm not going to get that day back. So he was willing. Yeah, I do it with myself. I argue with myself, blame myself. It's true love. So I might have thrown this little, please show us your closet. Debbie, the arms aren't on yet. The fronts aren't on yet. And I can't go up there anymore. It's hard for me to be in the room. Tomorrow, the handyman, Aiden, is coming to put the fronts on. Now, let me just tell you, I bought these on Wayfair. They are a good quality. They do seem to hold things. I will say, if you buy 4 of them, put aside a couple days. But the doors I don't love. Like, why did you buy it? Because that's what I could afford. Now, I'm thinking I might spray paint them. They're glass and they're this wavy pattern in them. I don't know. I just didn't want to buy something and then like all the reviews on a lot of them were like, this is a piece of crap. So this one does not have that as a review. Everybody liked this one. I just wasn't a fan of this wavy glass, but I bought it because I needed it. Tommy's around, but like this is like silly stuff. Like Aiden's gonna hang a mirror. He's gonna put the doors on the closet. It's nothing crazy. Tommy's he's like a master handyman, not even a master carpenter. Yeah. I just saw Tommy Thung the other day. Hilarious as ever. We just had our writing group. Missy was there, and 3 other comics that we know. We had a good time. Okay, I have a question, and I wish Bob was here for this question. Let me ask you something. Stay with me. You're out on a date. It's a first date. Okay? Just stay with me here. In this scenario, you're on a first date. I don't know how this came out in our conversation in our writing group. Missy knows what I'm talking about. You're on a first date. You're talking to a fella. And somehow in conversation, he says, yeah, I don't know. I don't have Amazon Prime. What? If a guy said that he didn't have Amazon Prime, what's your reaction to that? Where's this date going? Because I had a very visceral reaction when Bob said that he doesn't have Amazon Prime. Anybody? What are you thinking about this date? Yeah. Red flag, Julie. No reaction, Shakendra? Who doesn't have Amazon Prime? Cheap bastard. Kathy said, I don't have it either. Katie said, we can't date. Lisa said, I don't have it either. Who doesn't have Prime? Okay. I feel like there are polar opposites. Judy, do you have Amazon Prime? Wouldn't make a difference. Okay. I don't have Prime. Okay. Half the people here are murderers. Means he's cheap. Sounds like you're paying for this meal. Penny says, why not? What do you think? The government is tracking you? Listen, no, I'm taking a hard line. I said, what are you talking about, Bob? Of course you have. Who are all these people that don't have Amazon Prime? What are you talking about? I don't know about it because I never know I'm supposed to get. Well, that's what he said. He said, Tina, what do I care when stuff arrives? It arrives when it arrives. I said, what is wrong with you? Ann said I don't ever use Prime. What? I would love to do a poll here. Because I'm going to be honest, it looks like 50-50. Yeah, why would you not? We've grown to love it. Of course you have. I live on Prime. I do hate to support the uber wealthy. You're not wrong. Why would he need it? I don't know, Margaret, because you know how it happened is we were talking about movies. We were talking about streaming networks, because that's the other thing. Missy, correct me again if I'm wrong. But he said, did he say he didn't have any streaming networks? I don't know, but I was like, okay, caveman. And I said, well, obviously, you have at least Prime. And he was like, no, I don't have Prime. I was like, everybody, no problem. Jean says, money saver. Oh my gosh. How old is Bob? I don't want to say how old Bob. He's among us. He's among us, okay? Prime is the best thing that's ever happened. Girl, I don't even have internet. Okay, Jennifer. As I have delivery service and I like Prime Video and Prime Music. I got Amazon to buy an 8-pound pack of Skittles. I got 1,000 saltine crackers. Well, see, that's what happens. Yeah, no, if you have Amazon Prime, you automatically get the videos. Prime Videos comes with it. Is he vaccinated? I hope so. But I said to him, and I don't know why in the world I said it, but he goes, yeah, I don't have it. I said, automatic end of date. Like, I don't know why I had such a visceral reaction to it, but I was just like, if I was on a date and a guy said he didn't have Amazon Prime, I'd be like, do you have a home? Like, I would wonder if he's unhoused. Like, I can't. And the music, Mary Ellen. And here's what I put it akin to. And now some people that are on the dating apps or have ever been on will understand. But if you've never been on dating apps, you might not get this. But what I best, Katie, I was talking to a friend of mine and he said he didn't have Amazon Prime. And I said, if we were on a date, I would break up with you or never see you again. I don't have Netflix. Is that a red flag? It's close to a red flag, but not as close as not having Amazon Prime. So I was saying that when I was on the dating app, like, you can talk to people, but there were a few times on the dating app where like you would talk to somebody and they'd say, well, I only have one message left that I can send you. Here's my phone number. Because I don't know if they said it, but basically, if you didn't pay for like a full membership on like Bumble or Hinge, then you didn't have unlimited messages. So they would always try to like get you off the app and like onto your phone, which I'd never like to do. I was like, I'm not leaving this app. I don't know why I felt there was safety on the app, but it was just funny to me. Like, if a guy said that he didn't pay for the full dating app, which was, I don't know, $29 a month to find the person of your dreams, I'm like, you can't go to Chipotle with a friend for less than $29 and you're telling me. And I was like, no, I'm good. That might just be me. I'm like, if you can't dedicate $29 a month to being on this app, I'm pretty sure we don't need to go on a date, because I'm pretty sure we're going to Chipotle and I'm paying. That's just me. If he doesn't have Prime, he's definitely not going to buy me a bourbon. You are not wrong. That's how me and my husband met 20 years ago. Neither of us paid. What does that mean, Tracy? How does neither of you pay? I would be a huge plus in my book. Amazon, sex or school business account, they charge a real lot. They wouldn't work. All right, Renee, see? Listen, as long as you've got a reason and a motivation behind it, I'm for it. But I feel like you got to have a line. And I didn't know that this was my line until Bob said it the other day. Jen's like, I'd rather go to Chipotle alone for 20. You can get a lot for $29 if you're by yourself at Chipotle. I never did a dating app. My dog got me my dates. After he died, I found my lady at the synagogue. All right, Jason. Listen, that's the best way to do it. He didn't pay for the movie. He snuck me his email. Okay. Listen, I'm just saying, I guess the question is, do you have a line? Like if you were on a dating app or you met somebody, like is there something in your life that you're like, you don't have blank? Like I feel like one of the things might be like, depending on how old you are, do you live with your mom? Like I feel like that would be a line for me. Which, by the way, if I wasn't living with Jason, I would be living with my mom. So it's completely wrong. I'm just being very transparent. I can be living with my mom. I'm just saying. Right, Anne-Marie? It's fine if we are. Yeah. Yeah, Shakendra, could you imagine if a man was on a date with you and said, what if you said, do you like to travel? And he was like, no. Yeah, Marta was like, what do you mean you don't dance? Done. Done. Like, what is something, yeah, do you have a job? Do you have a car? I'm just saying, we're talking minimums here. And I'd be like, what do you mean you don't have Amazon Prime? How do you live? Yeah. Do you have health insurance? Yeah, if a man didn't like to travel, see ya, said Lisa Finn. Did you hear Chipotle had to remove jalapeno because of girl, I haven't had salad in weeks. Is anybody else just avoiding salad because you're going to get the poops and die? I can't with this world. Oh, yeah, if somebody said they smoked, I'm good. And it's funny, Amy, because I don't think I dated someone who didn't have a car for 5 minutes. Kendra. My brain can't even comprehend that. Somebody was like, can you pick me up? No. Yeah, I'm gone if they don't make reservations. I've been avoiding the lettuce. We rolled the dice and started eating salad again. Anna, you're living on the edge. I will not date anyone who doesn't like dogs. People who don't like dogs are murderers. Could you imagine? I had 3 dogs when I met Jason. He's highly allergic, and even he never mentioned it. He was like, I was like, he likes me a lot. Yeah. Can you support yourself and any offspring you have? I don't want to be supporting any person. That's fair, Renee. That's fair. I'm making salads at home without lettuce. I'm scared of lettuce. I've never been more scared of lettuce. In other news, Dean was amazing in Hamlet. Okay, just so you guys know. Dean did such a good job. So he has 2 more shows this week. And so Tanya was with us. We went to the premiere off Broadway, which was very exciting. And I saw him again Sunday night. We were all there. All the Blizzards were there, and Barbara was there, my mom, my sister, and Jan had come. So it was really so lovely. I just think that one of my favorite parts of life, you know how, listen, girl, I spent 2 days putting together a closet. I am not rich. But I feel like that when you're sitting in an audience with your family, and then Tanya came, and your friends and your family come, and watching all your little notes to Dee, like, congratulations. Like, that's when I feel like, I'm like, girl, I don't have any money. But I am wealthy in family and friends. And it was so lovely. And Dean was so appreciative of all the notes. And Brooke and Dean have been like posting all of these. Brooke and Jacqueline have been posting all these pictures of Dean. And so it's been so nice. So here's something fun. So I didn't really get to tell you much about Dean and Jacqueline's premiere last Wednesday, which was a BNN. So if you watch Jacqueline's BNN, it's very dirty. If that's not your thing, you shouldn't watch it. But they shot a 30-minute like sitcom pilot of it, and so they were, showing that and had some stand up and stuff, and so we went to it, and so Dean and Jacqueline up there, and their co-producer, her name is Beanie, and they were all up there, and they were doing their thing. And Brooke is in the front row with Sam, her girlfriend, and we're watching it all. And afterwards, Dean and Jacqueline came out, and they said a few words, so did Beanie. And then Dean says, we want to just take a minute to just acknowledge somebody that's super important. And I was like, I started doing this, and like it was really just such an important part of this, and I was like fixing my hair, and they were like, and just did such a great job contributing to this project, and I was like, what did I do with this project? And they were like, Brooke Blizzard, and I was like, oh, you can talk about your sister. And so Brooke had made the song, the opening song for it. She composed it and put it together, and that played at the beginning and end of the sitcom. Now, I wasn't mentioned. I don't need to. Maybe I do a little, but whatever. It stands for Brooklyn News Network. It's very dirty. Just, okay, they're lovely people, but it might not be for you. If you like Jesus, it might not be for you, okay? But this is how the kids talk. Whatever. I'm here to support. So they point to Brooke in the audience, and they clap that she did such a great job. Okay. So the next day we're talking about it, and I'm talking, I think I was on like a 3-way call with like Dean and Jacqueline, and they said, oh my gosh, and everybody was talking about the soundtrack. I mean, Brooke did such a good job on the soundtrack. And Dean was like, Mom, here's what's so crazy is that, when she recorded it here with Jason. So Jason sings a little bit in the background. And she's like, so she composed it and Jason sang in it. And she said, now listen, there's a little bit of a mistake at the end because Jason messed this one part up, threw him under the bus. She goes, but we can re-record it. And Dean was like, let me hear it. And she was like, just so you know. Dean was like, just so you know, that's the part where Jason messes up is everybody's favorite part. I said, what do you mean? He's like, well, the thing goes, and then Brooke stops singing, and then Jason goes BNN at the end by himself. He wasn't supposed to. He was vamping, whatever. So he tells me the story. He was like, so it's just Jason doing his own thing. And I said, that's great. He goes, now, we have gotten some calls from some agents that were in the audience and are like passing it around at some big agencies. And so they were super excited. And so we're all laughing about it. And I said, wouldn't it be so funny, Dean, if the agents called you and they were like, listen, we loved it. Loved the pilot. It was amazing. And they were like, thank you. We're like, loved the soundtrack. They were like, oh yeah, that was our sister. Loved it. So good. Yeah. But there was a background singer that just nailed it. We'd like to sign him. And so we were cracking up laughing that all the Blizzards had contributed to this pilot. I thought, no, amazing, amazing work, amazing improv, editing, mwah, perfect, soundtrack, mwah, perfect. The guy that did the background singing, what's his name? And so we've been cracking it. We're like, Jason's gonna get a call any moment. They're gonna call. And he is right to the top. Emmy, Grammy, whatever. It's coming. And they'll be like, we're gonna get, as soon as he's done with that closet, we'll get royalties. I'm sure he's up there thinking about that right now, Judy. He's like, man, I can't wait to get royalties from that BNN song. It's coming in hot. BNN. So we were laughing. Yeah, I just made all the kids. I mean, that was my contribution. And I didn't even get a credit. Like, producer, Jacqueline Blizzard. Producer, Dean Blizzard. Actor, Jacqueline and Dean Blizzard. Soundtrack, Brooke Blizzard. Backup singing, Jason. Nobody said, made all the people, Dina Blizzard. Nobody said that. Used her vagina a lot. Messed up her whole body. Stretch marks everywhere. Dina Blizzard. Something. I have no idea where you can watch BNN. People said that they have seen it. I only saw it live. I don't know where it lives. It lives somewhere on YouTube. You can watch it. Do I know how to tell you how to do it? No. Jennifer, I couldn't tell you. It was really good. I liked it. Now I want to hear it. You can hear it. I couldn't tell you where. If one of you figures it out, put it in the chat. Because I saw it. I loved it. Donna knows. I'm a human maker. Thank you. No credit. There's a YouTube link, Dean said. What is it? I don't know. Everybody's been asking me, what's the YouTube? I have no idea. That's why I went. I drove up with Chris on Wednesday so I could watch it. Do I know where it lives? No. You know why? Because I didn't get credit. So, okay. But I did love it. I know, Ellen, me too. So I do feel like, so I haven't talked to you guys. So Saturday was the day that my renters moved in. What does BNN stand for? Brooklyn News Network. So it's a fake news network. Saturday, my renters move in, and I was definitely having all the feels. I don't know why. It's been a lot the last few days. Cooking with Di is coming back, so it's been a lot. Just, I feel like I've been saying this a lot, but like being able to be at a place where I can, I worked the entire summer. None of these are full sentences. I have worked and Diane is here and she understands. I've worked the entire summer to make sure that all the houses are good. There was just a hole in the roof down the shore. Washer and dryer needed to be delivered to this house that I was rented. And so Dean moved to his apartment. There's just been a lot. And so Dean did find a place to live, Claire. So we were moving him on Friday. I was so dirty and stinky and gross and still trying to get Dean to where he needed to be for him. He had a call at 5:45. I was meeting Tanya at 5:30, which I don't know how I did that. So it's just been, I've just been running on empty. It's been a lot. And then for some reason I was like, I need to have my bedroom be done. Like, I think I've just gotten to the point where, like, I want to wake up in the morning and be like, this is peaceful. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, this is where I live now. I think that that's the other part, is that renting my house now for 2 years just makes being here just feel much much more permanent. Now, girl, I've been here for a year and a half, but when you rent your house and you don't have somewhere else to go, and I said that to Jason, and I think that this is like the PTSD of like coming from a place that wasn't wonderful. And then I think that in the back of your mind, no matter how you move forward, that you always have this PTSD. And I was like, ugh, like I can't, like when I was doing it short term, I was like, I can always go back to my house whenever I wanted. And now I'm like, I can't go back there. And so this whole, this 6 months is long gone. I know, Janice. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. And so, Jason's been very good about like, I'm like, listen, this is just a lot for my brain. Like, I think, when BNC moved out, she like moved out done. And mine was like a little bit at a time. And so this last weekend was kind of like, this is it. Like, you have to move out of that house. There's so much stuff. There's a sunroom over here, and it's just filled with stuff. And I said to Jason, I was like, I just want to set expectations. I will not be addressing anything in the sunroom for a while because I just can't clean anything else. Like, and then I spent 2 days building a closet. But I was just like, but I know I'm going to do it. But I just was like, I need a break. And he was like, Dina, that's fine. Take 2 days off and then get to it. And the carriage house is going to be rented next week, Joey, for 3 months, which will be nice. So, like, we're definitely coming to the close of the summer. Like, for most people, the summer is, like, super relaxing. For me, it's, like, very stressful. It was, Judy. It was definitely time for a vacation. And so yeah, it's funny to me to be, like, again, still 4 years out of not a great situation, and just feel like, okay, I'm finally getting myself together. Brooke is still with my mom, and they both have complaints, but they both love it. Do you think you'll eventually sell it? I'm not sure. It's very funny. On Saturday, it was about 9:00 at night, and Andrea said, so I had one plant still there. Like, I have Fiona. Remember Fiona Figleaf? She was by the back door. Johnny Cash unfortunately died. Carl is in the studio. And I just had an orchid that was left at the house. And Andrew's like, don't leave the orchid here. So she was the last thing I took. So it was about 9:00 on Saturday. I was by myself, and I went and I picked up the orchid, and I had to make an extra key for the house. And I was by myself, and just kind of like, I know, Judy, I know. It was very funny. It was very funny to be there and just thinking about, like, the first time I walked in that house and all the things that happened and the kids growing up there. And, it was just so much. It was just so much. And, it's just a lot. I know, Carl's going to outlive us all. Carl's living in the studio, and he's living his best life. I had to replan him because he wasn't doing well. But Fiona's killing it. She likes it here. And so I don't know. I feel like, things are settling down, and sometimes we need a community cry. But I was like, okay, so we're going to finish our bedroom, and it's going to look like real people live here. I love my summers, but this summer was not relaxing. I had some fun times, but it was mostly a lot. Yeah, I feel you. So I'm looking forward to the fall, and we have some fun things planned, and I'm excited. You're making me want to cry. I'm very emotional since my daughter's a senior now. Yeah, that's a lot. But you know what? You are gonna find a new part of your life, and it's an exciting part. The closets suck, Bridget. No, they're pretty good. I only have one full. Um, Jason has all of them full, and I had to make him another closet to go in a different room. Um, but everything's moving forward, and everything is in a good place. I feel you. I do that with my kids gone to Mississippi. I drive by places they played, and here come the tears. Susie, I swear, when I was, because I feel like it's been about 3 months that I've been getting the house in Jersey ready for the renters. And like I would be there, and there would be a kid like skating by. I'm like, that looks exactly like Dean. And then I was driving down our main street, and I saw a girl running. It looked exactly like Brooke. And I was like, ugh. This is just so weird. Do the kids have any feelings about the house being rented? They don't care. They don't care. No, I think it's a very mom experience to be kind of moving out of a house. You know, I think they're very much in their own thing. You know, like I said, Dean moved to a new apartment, and it was nice to be a part of that and moving him in. And Jacqueline's got her stuff going on, and Brooke just passed her praxis, which is a big teacher test, and she was super nervous about it, and she did a great job. And so she just has her student teaching left, and then come January, she's all done, and we'll see what she does. Victoria, I had a Monstera right here for the longest time. That is not a Monstera. But I had a different Monstera here, and my sister was like, you need to put that in a bigger pot. And I did, and I put it outside. It's gigantic. It's gigantic. All of them have to come in come the fall. But, girl, put your Monstera in a bigger pot, put it outside. I'm not really ready for my next chapter. Joey, no one's ever ready for their next chapter. I think the best thing you can think is it's going to happen, and just surround yourself with some wonderful people who give you good vibes, and everything's going to be fine. I would sell both homes and invest the money, said Julie. I think that's one way to look at it. For me right now, I think that, and again, I want to talk more about Airbnb, but you know, that's my job now, and it is the thing that, you know, it's been 5 years, right, of me working on houses, and it finally is something that can give me an income that I can pay myself. It's been 4 years of not paying myself, and I'm like, finally I can kind of take a paycheck from it. And so for me, that's a big deal. As a comic, that's a big deal. There's, you know, no real pay from being a comedian. So, and I definitely have been on the low key. So we'll see. I think Brooke is the one that messes me up the most because she was still in high school. I know. I started watching consistently when Dean would open up One Funny Morning. Remember when he would do like the first 15 minutes of One Funny Morning? Our 37th anniversary tomorrow. Good for you, Marta. Good for you guys. He was so good. Remember when he played Jesus? He was so excited. He said, Mom, I'm going to be Jesus tomorrow. I was like, I mean, you do you. Let's just thank Jim for that. Not mine. Jim and Sharon for that cuckoo clack. Football pool. Just so good. So I do have some fun things planned for the fall. I miss Captain Two-Toe. Remember when he walked in the house and I was like, poop in the cone? That's only going to resonate with certain people. But poop in the cone was the day. One morning, My son came out of his room and heard your voice. His reply was, wait, isn't that the Tipsy Tuesday lady? Today isn't Tuesday. Yeah. How does Jason feel about remodeling and the Airbnb stuff? Was he into that, or is this all new to him? Everything is new to him. I torture this man. I think everything I do with Jason is slightly jarring. No, I think I don't know. I think that Jason has been really great about just, when we met, when we were first dating, I was still on tour. And so it's been interesting to just kind of, like, I really think that he met me at my worst. I don't know who needs to hear this message, but I feel like he met me at my most broken, my worst. Like, my house was being renovated, it was just torn apart. I was on the road. The kids were in various states of not great. And I had 3 dogs, which he was allergic to. Like, I don't know why he stuck around, but I think it's interesting for him to kind of see me at these different points, and I think that he gets it. Like, he's an artist in the sense that he makes a lot of music, but I think he definitely like appreciates just how different our minds work. In a lot of ways, he's an artist because of music. In a lot of ways, he's much more analytical because he's more of like a finance guy that I don't understand. Yeah, I know he's the best. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I think sometimes, like, like, which version of me is the one that Jason is like attached to, because there's been like 7 different versions. But I think the nicest part is that I can kind of say to him, like, I'm having a lot. Just so you know, I don't know if you realize how much, or he realizes how many times I say to him, I'm having a lot of feelings right now. I have so many feelings. And he has limited feelings. I'm like, I have a lot of feelings right now. Does anybody else have a lot of feelings? I have them all the time, and I am overflowing with feelings. And he is very good at just letting me unpack them and figure them out. And so it's been good. After I lost my best friend in March, I've been almost broken. It will be, Lisa. I really do believe that phrase that says, like, that people are brought into your life for a certain reason and a certain time. And, we miss them if they leave, but I feel like that they were there for a reason, Girl, let's cry. I'm full of feelings right now. Di is amazing. Jody, when I tell you that. So there are 2 clocks here now, the cuckoo clock and the one for the shore. And they're constantly ringing. And I love it. At the first, it was driving Jason crazy. But I really do believe, like, when you have these things ringing all the time, that eventually you don't even hear them. Every once in a while, you'd be like, oh, that's so cool. But, like, it drove him nuts. I had it, like, hanging here in the living room. And the cuckoo clock used to just be like, tick, tick, tick. And he was like, Dina, I literally feel my life ticking away. And so I put it in the kitchen so he doesn't feel his life ticking away anymore. But now he doesn't mention it anymore. Julie said, I have cancer and I'm starting treatment soon. Julie, you are among friends, and we are here for you. And there's been a bunch of us, not me, I can't say us, but a lot of us have gone through it, and you are here, and we are here to support you in every way that you need to be. Since the new year and all that has happened, my cup runneth over with feelings. I'm going to make a video about feelings because I feel like they're underrated, and I feel like we should be talking about them. Joey Joe said, I got you, Julie. Yeah, you are among friends here with the cancer. So anyway, so I'm looking forward to, now that this chapter of like, this house is rented and the summer is over and this house was rented starting next week, I'm looking forward to starting to create things again. And I thank all of you for your patience. It's like a lot. Starting over is a lot. And I don't know who's going through it, who's at the beginning of starting over, who's at the end of starting over, who's in the horrible middle of starting over. But it's a lot. So, yeah, lots of prayers, Julie, coming your way. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the morning show will come back in some capacity. I don't want to say, but I've been thinking. But I will say that for supporters, a cooking show is going to be more regular. It's been really crazy. I think it's a lot harder in the summer with the cooking show. But looking forward, I said to Diane, so now, like I said, the sunroom over here is just filled with stuff, which is not great. But in the boxes that are over here is a lot of the kids' clothes that I wanted to turn into a quilt. Girl, you know how there's a box where you're like, I'm going to do all this stuff for the kids, and you never do it. It's just a box. Well, that's in the sunroom. So I said to Diane, I know, Debbie, don't say it. So I said to Di, I need you to come over, bring your sewing machine, and we're going to make some quilts out of these clothes. And I swear, the sunroom needs to be cleaned out. And I don't know when Tanya and Shakendra are going to come and do that. But I said to Di, I said, you need to come for like a week, and we're going to just quilt, and we're going to do some things. And she goes, I'm not coming to your house for a week. I said, how about this? If you come to my house for a week, then I'll come to your house for the week, and I'll clean out your basement. She was like, I'll think about it. So I don't know. I think you're going to see Di a little bit more, but we got a lot of stuff going on, and we'll see. Sina going to be home for that. That lady be traveling. Girl, she always got a trip. Keep some quilts for later to make, and teddy bears for grandchildren. Mm-hmm. That's true. Mm-hmm. If we pay for will you come back? I don't know, Kelly. I'm getting my life together. It's very slow. But is Di still dating? Yes, she's dating Joe. Can she drive? No. I was going to make a quilt with my son's old clothes. My son said, don't bother. I don't have memories of the man. You do. Sniff, sniff. Yeah, that's very upsetting. Yeah, and you're like, you're going to spend all this time making this quilt, and they're going to be like, I don't even want it. Yeah, do kids really even want quilts? I had to go through my mom's and grandma's and a friend of my mom and my sister. They really want, kids don't want, and they're grown. That wasn't a sentence, but I knew I know what Renee said. But I know. Writing, now quilting. I know. I took Courtney's t-shirts from Miss New Jersey and made a quilt. Did she like it, Joanne? Or did she go, oh, thanks? I don't know why we all think that our kids want a quilt. If my mom was like, I made a quilt, I'd be like, I don't need a quilt. Why do I think, Shakendra, what do you mean you're going to miss it? Mm-hmm. Who is there? Right now? Nobody. Just me and Lulu. And hopefully Jason is finished cleaning out his closet. Mm-hmm. Are you touring with your new show? Teresa said. So Teresa, it takes like 6 months to get bookings. So no. So it's kind of a weird time. But we're gonna start some new things. I was mad. I cut them. Did you get Jesus seating again? No, not as bad as last time. We'll see. I have the shirts. I don't think my girls want a quilt. They're gonna get a quilt. Ruby is here somewhere. She's great. The two of them are great. We started eating frozen string beans today, and they seem to like them. So we'll see how that goes. And by them, I mean the dogs. You may not appreciate it, but as they get older, they will. You girls are the thrifting queens. They should love it. I listened to my BFF and got rid of all my daughter's small clothes, and now I wish I had them. I know. Who do you think Di and you would be? Both be dating in relationship at this time. Both. I know. Janice, it's very funny. Yeah, to be here. I think it was a very funny time for both of us. You know, Diane widowed at the same time that I divorced, and we dated each other for a while. But there's a lot of that, you know, in the show that I talk about. Yeah, I mean, you just kind of never know where you're going to end up, and this is where we ended up. And I think that both us and the kids and, you know, just trying to make the best of it. And I think the best part, which again, I think, you know, when I was moving Dean, Jacqueline came. And when we went to the show for Dean, Jacqueline and Brooke were there, and my sister showed up, and Jan showed up. Like, I just think that there is just something so important and so beautiful about your family and friends showing up. And, you know, even when things are crappy, that, you know, when people show up, it's just a beautiful thing. So, anyway, so thank you all for showing up. There's 330 of you showing up for Tipsy Tuesday, and it is not lost on me that we all get together. Girl, I think today is our not today, but I think this might be our 10-year anniversary. Somebody should look that up. Stephanie will know. But it's been 10 years of getting together on a random Tuesday to say, you know what? Tuesday is a lot. So thanks for being here. And if you get a chance, watch Mind Hunters. It's kind of interesting while you build a closet for yourself. But thanks for being here. As always, we're 15 minutes late, but thanks for being here. And have a great night and a blessed night, everybody. And I'll see you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.